Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? Happy Father's Day to the men that actually make the world go round. If you think men are not important, well, you must not like the wheel, internet, planes, telephones, electricity, cars, internal combustion engine, the light bulb, anything. Like you must not like anything. I like how people, especially, it was funny about, I don't know, a couple of months ago, masculinity was under attack. Still is kind of. But masculinity was under attack. And you wonder why it was under attack. And then all this woke bullshit started happening, especially with Ford. And you're just like, no, you reject it wholeheartedly. And I think masculinity was being attacked so that this woke shit can just kind of be ushered in. Whereas men, I'm saying men that will slap a motherfucker in a heartbeat, don't put up with that stuff. And chances are, if you are a respectful, selfless, self-sufficient, hardworking man, realistic, non-delusional, you were raised by a strong father, a strong male role model, whether it be your biological or not. Because that just because, your father isn't, biologically yours doesn't mean he didn't have a big influence. There are many great stepdads out there that, not me. I did it. I see women with kids. I'm like, you got it, Dad. Fuck out of here. But some of you are out there actually influencing young men in a positive way, manly, to become self-sufficient. And more than likely, if you got into a hobby, your dad influenced that hobby, whether it be fishing, cars. Again, this is a car-centric channel. But whatever you're into, it was more than likely influenced by your father. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What got you into cars? Me, it was my father, 100%. I'll tell you how that went down. Tell you how now with the downfall of, or not downfall, let's just say the masculinity is not a wanted thing anymore. And the men that refuse that, the men that push back against the negative connotation that masculinity has, I think are important because we need to bring that shit back. Like, guys pop off too much on the internet without getting slapped in the face. A lot of these guys, look, modern men are super soft. They talk big. They show the gun on IG. They do this stuff. But when the rubber meets the road, when shit's about to pop off, those guys are nowhere around. And then guys that are a little older, a little wiser, just kind of go, calm down, Sonny. You're not that tough. And we know you're not that tough because you're talking big. So we'll talk a little bit about that. What got you into cars, how your father influenced you in your life. Mostly car stuff, obviously, we're going to talk about on this channel. But as always, we want to have Mr. Bill O'Reilly say, oh my God, where is it? Have Mr. Bill O'Reilly announce the show or the intro.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
That's right. Bill O'Reilly getting it started. We got 2 Auto Solutions. That's right. He has customers that do burnouts for about a week, and then they wonder why they have clutch temp codes. What the fuck is going on with motherfuckers in Puerto Rico? You don't need to do a John Force burnout. God damn it. 2 Auto Solutions. Race Motive. Small burnout, roll racing, gay, and rich. Let's go. Race Motive. DNA High Performance, DNAHighPerformance.com. They'll fight you. They'll kick your ass. They'll sell you hats and fuel systems. DNAHighPerformance.com. Parts Farm. Parts Farm has Roadrunners, Voodoos, and Predators for sale. Also motors. Parts Farm. Cog Performance just got a new part in. We're going to be dialing it in, but I got to change these injectors, bro. I think my whole issue with the Corvette, I think are the injectors, bro. I'm just going to get rid of them. Ultimate UltimateHeader.com, the best headers on the planet. PMAS, Nick James, PMAS, Nick James, PMAS. You can Caliber Transmission, CaliberTransmission.com, Caliber Transmission on Instagram. My goodness. Let's say hi to the people and to Ruviate. We'll talk about Father's Day. TJ Sikorsky, 2000 MCR, ATX Cobra, Don Robo Style, D-Rock Fox, JD Swag, I'm Hung Solo, Michael Schaefer, the first people in the chat. Angel Puerto Rico, Rich, Andy Black Betty, Tracy Miller, Darren Harper, and Alex Watkins. Coyote Kelly, Boots Willis, Garage Bill, Coyote Dane, Brian 03 Cobra, Truviate in the house. Just like I said, he's in the house building his V6 outside in an uncovered garage, welding with a stick welder from Harbor Freight. Fuck, does he need a dad? Eliza has 550. D-Rock Fox, 007 Cobra, Torque and Beans, Mini by Christian Sama, Jake Anthony, 94 GT Vert, D-Rock Fox, XTS Mar, Dill Space, Frank Weaver, Matt Oliver, Santa Gotta Go Fast, John Bailey, Marco Mark, Josh Roy, Nardi Mercado, Leo Monreal, Nardi Mercado again, Bronco, Ralph, Christian, Help Volteram. Thank you, Willie E50 for Tony's dad. The money is always nice. YouTube gets 30%. Torque and Beans, Tone 2SS. Wow. Peter Chow and Hatch says, Happy Pops Day, Alex Whipple, Stage 1 F-150, 50 say legal package cooked. My cats, O2 sensors after 1,000 miles, headers and Lund tune time. That is a very good point, Hatch 450. I have seen at least 10 cooked cats, 50 state legal tunes. I've seen at least 10. Why don't I talk about it? Because there's certain things in this industry we can't talk about because, partnerships and bullshit. But honestly, if I was just left to say whatever, bro, you wouldn't buy shit. You wouldn't buy shit if I was just left to say whatever I want to say. But, you gotta protect your shit, I guess. Alex, channel support. Take a look at my email. I sent you. Reply off the air if you'd like. No rush. Nestor, you got it, brother. Rich 50, Ken McAllister, Osmond, Tyler, Mike S. And Carlos, Craig Walls, Jake, and Felix. Okay, so how did I get into Mustang? Well, the way I got into Mustangs was my dad was a street guy, street thug. He was a welder, okay? He was a welder for most of his life. I'm sorry, he was a welder until he was 22, 23. Then he went back home on vacation. He was welding in New Jersey. He went back on vacation to Puerto Rico, started riding a dirt bike, probably high, fell off of it, broke his leg, broke his hand, his welding hand. So now his right hand is junk, his leg is junk, and he's just miserable. It was a year on the lam. We were recovering. Mom took care of the dude, and he had a real tough time mentally recovering from that because he felt he fucked up his kid's future because, he was doing dumb shit. And, you could make a case that in his mind, he did. But he was into cars. He was always into cars, and he liked them. And the first car I remember as a 4-year-old, because I was born in Stoughton, and at 9 months old, moved to Puerto Rico, and then until I was 6 years old, came back, moved to Springfield. He had a 77 Monte Carlo, and I remember it was baby blue with a white top, if I'm not mistaken, and it had those SS, not SS, I forget the type of wheels, those rally style wheels. And I remember, every time I wanted him to do a burnout, he'd do a burnout. Every time I wanted to go fast, every time he tinkered with it, he talked about 4-barrel carburetors. He goes, you can hear when the secondaries come in, and he'd floor it, and you hear the secondaries open up, and the car would just make this cool growl. And, it was probably like 180 horsepower V8. But, when you're a kid, it was the coolest thing ever. It was just the coolest freaking thing. Then when we came to the United States, he worked, odd jobs here and there. And he was mostly like an enforcer. You want to say that, just like a street guy. And he worked part-time like at this garage, at the shop. And when I was like 8 or 9 or 10, he would like have me drive the cars in and out, opening and closing in the summertime. So one time, a guy showed up in a Celine Mustang, 87 Celine Mustang. Perfect car, beautiful. It was just stock ass Celine. And I guess the rear wing was like coming loose because Celine does build their cars with literally wood screws. Like, look, I understand you Celine fanboys think it's the best thing ever. I think it looks great. It's held together by wood screws. So go look at the ground effects. They're wood screws on these little clips. That's how Celine body kits are held together. So, I mean, the car made 225 horse, so you're not going to get, you're not going to go over 150 in it. So he had a loose rear wing, and my father took care of it. And I was just staring at the car. I thought it was such a cool, weird, because look, when you're in the hood, you don't see the hotness. Like if you live in like Oklahoma, anywhere that isn't New York, Miami, Houston, Dallas, LA, like big cities, you don't see what's hot. You don't see what's new. You don't see the future. You see what you see. You see what's you've always seen in your neighborhood. So a lot of people go, oh, in the 956, we've been racing trucks. That's all you got in the 956. Like, it's not popping in the 956 because you guys are ahead of the curve. No. Y'all motherfuckers transporting shit and you needed it to go fast. That's it. I'm sorry. So stop saying that you guys were ahead of the game. And now that RCSB coyotes are a thing, you're like, oh, we did it first. You did it first because you were doing illegal shit and you needed fast trucks. Shut up. Just like the NASCAR got started with bootleggers. Stop with that shit. Anyway, the guy does a burnout. The guy does a dumb burnout. And I was like, because every Fox body did impressive burnouts. Like first gear, whatever, 2 something, and 273 rear gears or 308s if you were lucky. You could do a 60 mile an hour first gear burnout and it looked impressive. So I was like, I need that car. And it sounded different. It was just so cool how it sounded. And I thought it was the coolest car ever. Turned 14. My father's friend had a 78 piece of junk Mustang 2, but it was a Cobra. You know, those Cobra 2s, piece of junk. He said, if, I looked at it, I thought it was cool. Because I thought, it's a Mustang, but, I couldn't afford an 80 anything because I was 14. Worked on that car for a year or two, got it running, but never got it registered. Obviously, when I turned 16, got a job, scrounged up a couple $1,000, got me into my first Mustang, my 86 Mustang, which my father brokered the deal. And from then on, history, and I was just hooked. I was just hooked on the Mustang game. But he was the biggest influence in my life when it comes to car stuff. I learned how to work on cars because of him. I always did my own oil changes. I never took it to a shop to get worked on because, for one, I was poor. And that's usually the reason you get cars, you work on your own cars. It's not because you want it done right. It's because there are other people that are way more qualified. You just don't want to pay the bill. Let's be honest. If I had a competent shop that I thought could do a better job than I installing stuff on the ZR1, here you go. And I'd probably just take it to LMP of MD. Here you go. But, I'm not looking to do too much work to the ZR1. But anyway, a lot of you guys probably didn't have that. Probably you guys got into cars. I don't know. Your friends got into cars or whatever. So I think it's really important to have a good relationship with, well, you could tell the men that had a good relationship with their father because they're usually quiet. They walk softly and carry a big stick. They don't talk too much shit online. They don't instigate problems. They don't pop off on some dumb shit. Guys that pop off on dumb shit are raised by their moms. And it's just a matter of fact. Every guy I know that was raised by their mother primarily is the biggest shit talker and he's emotional. Totally. So in my opinion, men that have a good relationship with their father typically end up being quiet, talk softly, can take care of themselves, are self-sufficient, aren't that emotional. Typically, men like that are touted. They should be touted. They should be celebrated. And today's the day that I think men should be celebrated because now you're under attack. If you're a masculine man that's self-sufficient and can do his own shit, you are under attack and you're a threat to society. If you're strong, have a strong backbone, ain't about the bullshit, don't buy woke shit, don't buy rainbow anything, fuck that. Oh my God, you're toxic to humanity. It's unbelievable. But let's talk about how you guys, let's not get off into tangents about modern culture. And then we'll talk about how you got into cars, how your father influenced you into your car, I don't know, culture journey. Drifters and sideshow guys, fuck off. I don't care how you got into it. I don't give a shit how you got into it. Like, I don't care. Just, this is not for you. This channel is not for drifters. This channel is not for sideshow guys. This channel is not for stanced or bagged guys. I'm sorry. You guys are raised by your mothers. I knew it was coming, I swear. Good morning, good morning. Happy Father's Day. Greg River says good morning. My dad wasn't a car guy and that worked on cars. I always had a thing for cars. I was 3 or 4 being excited to go mud bogs. Really started when riding dirt bikes and playing Need for Speed Underground. Oh my God. Talk about the worst influence. Need for Speed. I could smell the cats cooking. Krager wheels. No, I think the Krager wheel stuff, not Kragers, they were like the rally wheels, the rally style wheels. And by the way, yeah, mini bike. Did you see? Look, the reason I don't pop off on Hennessy is because they're liable to send you a cease and desist letter. But Demonology doesn't care. Demonology is over at Bailey's Performance. He's hooked up with them. Which I wonder how his old shop thinks about that. You know, it's always weird to pop, you know, to prop up shops because shops can be mismanaged. Look, there's a reason I don't really like, I love LMP of MD, but you know, you don't see me rah-rahing anybody because eventually sometimes some shops just go under, screw people, and then you're tied to them. And then you look like the asshole for giving people the blue check mark. So I go, hey, I like what they're doing. Bye. See you later. But the Bailey's guys and Demonology went full bottomed out on Hennessy's asshole and said 1,200 horsepower Trackhawk on pump gas with a 4-liter Whipple, 4.5-inch upper, stock trans, stock bottom end. Like there are still people on the chats that go, oh, I make 800 on pump gas. I'm like, okay, you're going to go through a motor or two. This shop made 800 on pump gas. This shop sells an 850 horsepower pump gas package. Then go to that shop. I don't care. I don't care what you want to make on pump gas. Not up to you. It's up to the gas. So those guys are raised by their moms too. The guys that want 800 horsepower on pump gas. The cartels were the OG fast truck guys. Right. Like people think that the 956 like chose trucks to go fast in. No, you needed fast trucks to put your shit in and transport it across the border. Stop it. Turvey's dad failed him. Nobody would let his son build a V6 SN95. Guys raised by dads dumped, can't handle stress. When other guys break down, freak out, they keep trucking, pushing through. Okay. Apparently, guys raised by their dads can't spell. V6 and Eco Mustangs are the participation trophy of Mustangs. What's up? I love how the audience never goes along with what I want to talk about. Pops got started with building model cars. Yeah, my dad, cars were everything. Like everything. He would go to races. He would take me to monster truck meets. Like he had a passion for cars. Obviously, he couldn't afford it. Now, when I got older, and I mean older, 18, 19, 20, I was able to afford, because I worked really hard, fast cars. And I was able to build, 87 Mustang. That was like a low 12-second car. I had a Notch. I was an 11-second car back in like 97, 98. And I street raced, had a bunch of fun. But then I grew up pretty quickly and said, okay, this shit ain't for me because I'm just going to get in trouble. And that's the last thing I need. But I was still able to, like, the guys you see racing a lot on the street, I think are crazy because you have to get off of the street real fast. You got to get off of the street real fast. It's cool and it looks fun for Instagram and Facebook and stuff. But honestly, you got to get off of the street stuff real fast and start building products to make yourself money and then go racing somewhere legit. No, not NMRA. Like, if you're hedging your bets on NMRA stuff, you're losing. If you are counting on NMRA to push your product, you're already losing. You got to go to the stuff that people can actually see, whether it be local, whether it be grudge stuff, whether it be whatever, but you got to be where the eyes are. And that's Texas 2K, that's MIR, World Cup stuff. You got to get off the street. The street's nothing but trouble, guns, bullshit, arguments, and jail. And I learned that pretty quickly. Like, Dad told me, that's cool that you're out there street racing and everything and having fun, but you got to get off that shit. I've been in trouble too much, and I don't need you, my son, going out there who is pretty smart. You're not stupid. He kind of knew I had a bit of a brain when I was younger. He goes, you're not a stupid guy. Like you can make something of this. So don't do street shit. Like, don't hang out where the hood motherfuckers are at, because that's not going to get you anything but hood shit. And he was 100% on the money. Like, once I got out of that hood shit, kept in my lane, worked on what I want to work on. I don't have to be fast for the street. Who gives a shit about the street guy? Who gives a fuck about the street guy if he thinks I'm fast or not? I'm making good money over here, quiet, in my hustle, in my own lane. And I don't necessarily need to be verified by the street to be legit. But a lot of you guys do. A lot of you guys see street shit and you want to be in the street shit. And I'm like, no, There ain't shit there but just trouble. Nothing but trouble in the street shit. He used gearheads and moved on to demonology. Uses demonology. Grady Deadsea says he used gearheads and moved on. Demonology uses people. Well, okay. Or maybe he wasn't happy with what gearheads was doing and moved on to Bailey's. Like, I have been offered free stuff a lot by a lot of shops. And you see that I don't take anybody up on it because I don't want anything for free. And if your product is good, you should charge for it. And if I'm not happy with a product, I have the right to say, hey, I'm not happy with the product because I paid. So I don't know that he uses people, but I know that he went from one to the other. So I don't know the inner workings out of it. So I'm not going to talk down on demonology at all. My dad's a mechanic, but not a huge car guy. Best feeling ever when you want to take pictures of my car when he visited. Nice. Yeah, I gave my dad a ride in my car once, and he was like, this thing's fucking stupid. Like, stupid. But, again, he was used to really slow Cadillacs back in the day. My grandfather raised me. He drove 18-wheelers and for a living and rode motorcycles. Love for all things automotive came from him and his friends. Modifying cars to make them faster on NFS Underground was what really got me interested. And I'm going to move on to something else. Unfortunately, my stepfather is whom introduced me into the car thing. We snatched a drive to him out of his Reg 96 GT, put in a V6 car when I was 12, says Great Escape. My dad was always into fishing, but could work on fix anything, taught me to be self-sufficient and never cared about cars. First day with my license was like I just woke up. Alex, what do you think about GT50s? Asking because I just picked one up. God, come on, stop it. Go back on the channel. I talked about the GT50s nonstop. My pops got me started building, says Nestor Barrios, building model cars. Later, when I got older, would show how to wrench on stuff because we were poor. Yeah, look, we were poor. That's the only reason we worked on our own stuff. Alex almost got the nickname Pookie. Right, I didn't need that. Look, it is addicting to want to go and get notoriety on the street. But then when you look at the people around you, who are they? Are they successful? Are they going to bring you to a better place? Or are they looking to make money off you? So if you're a street racer and you're out there, you got people putting thousands of dollars in a pot for you, watch you lose 3 races and watch them leave you. All of a sudden, you ain't popping no more. People want to ride with a winning horse. And when the horse stops winning, that's when people get off of the bandwagon and they move on to anybody else. So what happens when you get back on that winning streak? Let's say you're a street racer, right? Like legit, and you're out there racing and you're traveling to race and all that stuff. Everyone has losing streaks, right? I don't know any street racer that never lost. I don't know any street. Come on, stop it. Every street racer has lost many races. If you're an undefeated street racer, then you either cherry pick your races or you do BS to make yourself the winner of these races. Losing is part of racing. So let's say you got a lot of people in your camp and you're popping and you're on IG and you're doing all this stuff. Just let you lose a couple of races. Watch that shine go away. And then you get back on a winning streak and they come back. They don't care about you, bro. They care about making money. Fortech here, hate to be off topic, but we had a guy purchase a 22 Mach 1 and then wired us 70,000 and want us to build it. It needs to make 1,000 horsepower. A 22 Mach 1, he wired you $70,000 and wants you to build it and make 1,000 horsepower. Kenneth, T56, he's going to lose downshift rev matching if it has it. Because, I'm sorry, T56 Magnum XL losing downshift rev matching. Tell him to shut up. If you don't like it, stick an auto in it. Want to make 1,000 real horsepower? You can do it with anything, but the best way, in my opinion, just stick twin turbos in it and be done with it. Again, you didn't say he wants to build an 8-second car. You didn't say he wants to build a 9-second car. You didn't say anything. You said he wants us to make 1,000 rear wheel horsepower. So you take a twin turbo kit. If it's a manual, it'll make 1,000. Obviously, build the bottom end. Get like an Illuminator 12-to-1 compression or a built short block or a built long block and be done with it. Instead of going way into it, because a lot of people take a brand new car and ruin it by buying stuff that sucks. They do that all the time. You know how many times I've seen guys take a brand new car, take it to a shop, and absolutely ruin it by just going dumb. 150 millimeter throttle body in a Whipple, awful for the street. Big Cobra Jet cold air intake, awful for the street. You want to make 1,000 just to make 1,000? Throw turbos in it and then turn it down when you're driving normally. Tone 2 SS says, my dad had an 87 SS 383 stroker with a 671 top rear tub and huge tire. So a 12-second car. I grew up working on it and him, and it helped build my 5th gen Camaro. Unfortunately, I lost him last year. It sucks, man. Hey, I lost my dad last year and my mom last year. It doesn't get easier. That's for sure. It actually gets worse. It's funny how you initially feel terrible and then you kind of don't feel so terrible and then you feel more terrible. Like and that's how it should feel, in my opinion. You should never get over the most important in your life's death. You should just be able to, move on with life, but you should always feel that slight emptiness, because if you didn't, they didn't matter that much, in my opinion. Blow porting is huge in GM world. What have you seen on the Coyote with TVS? Porting will cause less boost, but more power. And we know why. But it all depends on, you're not going to port an 82 millimeter pump gas blower. You're like super retarded if you do that. You only port a blower when you're maxed out. So 69 millimeter pulley on a Gen 2 or Gen 3 TVS, and you got a 15% and cams, and you ain't making no more power, then you port it. If you go port a 79 millimeter or 82 millimeter pulleyed TVS, you're a clown-ass clown. My grandpa got me into cars. He had a 94 Cobra, built 5.0, power dyne, Sentry blower. Nice, so a 13.5 car. It was king back in the day. Now I have a twin turbo 197 rod pistons, Gen 3 swap. I wish you could have seen it. I've asked how fast does he want to go. All he says is 1,000 and needs to be twin turbo. Aldo, twin turbo kit. Send it to Aldo. Kenneth, send it to Aldo. Have him build a twin turbo kit or install a twin turbo kit if he has one on the shelf. Beef up the bottom end. So he gave you $70,000. So Aldo kit's like 11. Built trans T56, good Mantic dual. Bottom end, like RPG bottom end, or FFRE if they have a long block or short block in stock. Throw it in, fuel system E85, turn it up 1,000, no problem, and then be done with it. Don't do too much. That's the problem. People do too much. 1,000 wheel horsepower combo is insanely easy nowadays on Coyote Mustangs. When you go off the res, like 1,000 horsepower Whipple drives like butt cheeks. Sorry, Whipple. 1,000 horsepower Kenny Bell drives like butt cheeks. 1,000 horsepower blower anything drives like butt cheeks. If you want the car to drive well, stock to auto body is going to be the best way, and a big Sentry, in my opinion, is not the best way to go about it. If you just want a power number, twin turbos and be done with it. Now, performance, completely different. If you're like, I want the quickest, easiest way to get 8s, VMP or a Whipple. Yes, you got to cater to what the customer wants. And if he only wants horsepower, okay, here's a twin turbo manual built bottom end E85 car. Done with it. But if he wants to have performance, then we start talking blowers. If you can't downshift rev match yourself, my girl lost her mom this year and struggles with it almost every day, as she should. That means she had a good relationship with her. My dad was an old street racer, still does the stoplight. He's the reason I like fast trucks. Yeah, look, my dad would never race, obviously, because he couldn't afford to. My brother was into cars like halfway. He never was 100% into cars. My brother would buy a stock car, and if it didn't perform, he said the car sucks. Now, I had a Mustang, and rear gears, exhaust, tuning, trans, all the stuff I could do. Then I got into, then I went backwards, technically. I went from an 87 to an 86, put a carburetor on it, and it gained performance. That's right. I had an Edelbrock upper and lower, C&L MAF, 24-pound injector, pulley, mock pulley, March pulleys, 1.7 rockers, B cam, F cam, Tremec 3550 and 373s. I put a carburetor, air gap, MSD, 430s, and a Tremec 3550, and the car went from going 1270s, 1260s to like 1190s, 1170s. That was great. Matt Oliver says, like Alex said, if you want drivability, leave the Mustang at factory spec. No, I don't know. There are a lot of people that say like the weirdest things online. Drives like stock. Absolutely no Whipple throttle body, no Kenny Bell throttle body, no 87 millimeter throttle body. Drives like stock in a vehicle that it didn't come in. Like an 87 millimeter throttle body drives like stock in a GT350. Because what the hell is like stock unless it's stock? So a lot of people go, drives like stock. Okay, drives exactly like stock, or does it have decent driving habits? Because I would never tell somebody on a Whipple tune, because Whipple has access to bypass logic. The bypass, when it shuts, it has a forward surge. We don't have access to that in the aftermarket. That is all Ford stuff. Ford, Billy Badass, A2L, C-File, configure it in the IMRC function type thing. They have access to that. No, they didn't come up with it. Ford did, and Ford gave them access to it. That's how it works. We don't have access to any of that. So if you were to say, Alex, which tune drives better, the Whipple tune or the Lund tune? I would say it's a wash. I wouldn't say one drives better than the other, but the fact that we are able to make a Whipple car drive well with not Ford parameters, I'm blown away by that. But again, that takes a lot of time, money, and investment. So when a company, like I saw on Instagram, a guy tuned a 22 F-150 with a Whipple, and he said custom tune. I said, what's custom about it except what you changed? So you draw the Whipple file, right? You change the injector data if you installed 1050Xs and a fuel system. Custom tune, really? Did you make any changes to the throttle body? Did you make any changes to the torque tables? Did you make any changes to the individual fuel cylinders? Did you do anything? Nope. I changed the injector data, and I changed the fuel system for a return fuel system configuration custom tune. Come on, stop it. Now, if you had a 22 F-150 with twin turbos, now I can believe you have a custom tune in it. Sure, you need a lot of work to make that sucker drive decent. So I would go, okay, cool. But if you have a Whipple truck with a Whipple tune and a customer brings it in and says, put some injectors in it and a fuel system for 85, and you have the nerve on your post to say custom tuned, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Look, my brother does no shit about cars. I love him. He's one of those guys that you're like, you can't get through. You just can't get through. And hard-headed as fuck. Can't get through. We'll never have a fast car. We'll never understand what it takes to go fast. But in his mind, he's a fuck. He should be working at SpaceX. He should. In his mind, he would have fixed the booster. Oh yeah, the reason the booster blew up is because the concrete wasn't mixed in. Too much power, and it blew up the engine. Ugh. Bro, don't you guys have someone like that in your family that knows everything? Says Elon is dumb. Says Lund sucks. Meanwhile, he has a carbureted 305 Monte Carlo with sagging doors. Like, you have to lift up on the door to shut it. And your Monte Carlo. And you have the nerve to say people like me suck. People like Lund suck. Man, shut up. Yeah, it happens, bro. Look, what are you going to do? You know, I'm not one of these guys that sits there and boo-hoo shit. Dad wouldn't have wanted that. My dad lost his parents in the worst way. My dad's relationship with his dad was tumultuous as shit. But he lost his parents my grandparents in a really fucked up situation. I'll tell you. Should I tell you? It's kind of. Okay. So my grandfather was Eladio. He was just a old school trash man. Had 10 kids, so you know he was fed up with bullshit. So he was getting up there in age, and his wife, my grandmother, started to have diabetes, started to have health issues because her diet wasn't that good and she just had issues. She had a couple of heart attacks and this and that. So he started looking at her and the amount of care that it took to take care of her. And he's like, he's like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. He's like exactly like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino. Like, looked like him too. And he was like, ain't no way someone's gonna wipe my ass. Ain't nobody gonna wipe my ass when I fuck that. So he decided to commit suicide. He's like, I'm done. I'm good. I raised 10 kids. I'm done. I'm good. So he committed suicide. He hung himself. So my dad had to go over there, bury him, and you have conflicting thoughts about how that went down, right? You go, fuck, this guy, why did he kill himself? He was 80 something. He was starting to, he was a man in his mind that he was like strong and he would do shit. And then when that starts, because guys, it starts to go away. It just starts to go away. Plain and simple. The body, time is undefeated. So he just said, I'm not going to go through that bullshit. No way. Thank you. I'm good. So he hung himself. Then I'm like, well, that's kind of crazy because they still had to bring him down. But that's besides the point. So then my grandmother, because talk about health stuff. No one in my family is into health. No one in my family works out. No one in my family is fit. I am. Maybe I'm not the fittest, but at 45 years old, I'm more fit than most guys in their 20s. Bet me. And I'll challenge you to that. But she had diabetes, heart attacks, high blood pressure, you name it. So she lost all of her limbs because of diabetes and the blood circulation. Boom, feet, knees, hands, and blind. So she slowly lost every limb and went blind and finally died. And the casket was like this big because she was just a torso. So my dad went through that, within a span of 5 years. And that dude was stiff upper lip. And he was just, but he didn't take care of himself. Dad drank a little bit, liked to enjoy his little cigars and shit, or cigarettes and whatever. And he drank a little bit, but he lived till he was 70, which isn't old, but he had a bunch of health complications. So yeah, that's why you don't see me eating a bunch of crap. You see me at the gym 4 to 5 times a week. You don't see me eating big mountains of rice and pork and shit. No, it sucks. The food I eat is boring. But if my father taught me anything in life, is how not to treat your body. He even said it. He just said, man, I like the beers, and again, he wasn't an alcoholic by today's standards, but he liked his beer. He liked his rice. He liked that Puerto Rican food will kill you. Puerto Rican food is not healthy. Rice, beans, fried pork, gandule, mofongo, all that stuff, it is terrible for you. So that's why I don't have any. And if I do have it, it's like once a month. My bad. My dad got me into cars when I was 2. When I was young, hearing about his old Mopars. Then I got my license. He didn't want me to have a muscle car due to he was worried I'd crash and get hurt. Got that 1A now. Alex, did you see this starry spade thing I sent into the email? Yeah. I'm one of the 2 people across 100 plus family members that is really into cars, and they all think I have a problem. What's up, Alex? I have an 11 GT500 and trading it for a C6, maybe a Grand Sport. Since the C06 have a valve issue, is it worth it? No. I would not trade an 11 GT500 for a C6 Grand Sport. No. Sorry. A C6Z that has reworked heads? Yes. But you can't do anything to them in terms of supercharging because the bottom ends aren't exactly super tough. But your 11 GT500 can go for $30-something thousand. Do you just want to get into a lighter platform? I think the 11 GT500 is great. You're a TVS and E85 away from ZR1 times. So I don't know. I think you might want to rethink getting rid of it. Yeah, that's what I think Half bolted on. He lived on his terms and sadly went out on his terms. Yep. And no one really understood it, but boy, the older you get, the more you understand. I'm telling you guys, if I'm ever in a position of not being able to take care of myself, I'm done. I'm now a non-functioning member of society. I'm not saying like if my back hurts. I'm saying if I'm a vegetable, bro, do me a favor. Bro, the Puerto Rican ethnicity is all about that pork. And that's the problem with the Puerto Rican community. If you go to New York City, do you think those are Puerto Ricans? Like, no. That's not the norm. Those are the glutton, nasty, like they don't understand like what the island culture is all about. Like they think they do, but they don't. And they eat just the nastiest shit, and they're fat, and I mean, New York is nasty anyway. But generally, guys in Puerto Rico, depending on what part of the island, are generally pretty healthy. Not super healthy, but they're pretty healthy. They're kind of on the thinner side. You know, I'm like an average Puerto Rican, you know. But you go to New York and you think all Puerto Ricans look like that. You're like, no, that's a really, really bad example of what Puerto Ricans are. Thank you, Gonzo. I'm not a dad, but thank you for saying Happy Father's Day. So I'm going to make my farts stink too, but I love the Puerto Rican food. Thanks for sharing, Alex. You got a clean 93 GT. Off topic. People need to realize that food we eat is what gives us the problems. Eat junk. Your health is junk with you. Did you see what happened yesterday on Twitter? Did you guys see what happened yesterday on Twitter? So on Twitter yesterday, so RFK was on Joe Rogan. And I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan, but I am a fan of RFK. So he was out there talking all that shit. He was talking all that shit about the vaccines and stuff. And I thought, wow, this guy, he's airing out that dirty laundry not a lot of people want to talk about. So Peter Hotez is a Fauci type. And he was saying that, you know, he was advocating for the vaccines while RFK, the Democratic presidential candidate, was saying, hey, this is bullshit. They make money, da-da-da-da-da. So Hotez was on Rogan one time, and Rogan asked him, hey, so, like, you're a health guy. Don't you, like, take care of your body? He goes, no, I eat junk food all the time. Rogan's like, don't you take vitamins? He goes, no, I don't take any vitamins. I love cheeseburger. He goes, wait a minute. You're one of the leading voices of health advocacy and vaccine stuff. Why the hell are people that are talking pro-vaccine are the fattest? Why is it the people that mask up, tell them they're triple vaxxed and all this shit are the fattest, ugliest, most disgusting, unhealthy looking people on the planet? Why is that? The moment we see Alex putting bicycle brakes on his car, we know it's over. I'll put bicycle brakes like I'll always put big brakes on the car. Haven't had pork in 5 years. Replaced it with fresh fish. Exactly. Jabez, thank you for becoming a bitch level member. Thank you so much. I bet that was tough on your dad to lose your parents that way, seeing your mother slowly falling apart. Yeah, my dad brought my grandmother here. He got her all fixed up because in Puerto Rico, the healthcare is trash. And he brought her here, and he got quadruple bypass surgery, and she got fixed up, and he gave her another 15 or 20 years added to her life. But the problem is this: she went back to Puerto Rico, and the problem with going back to Puerto Rico is you don't understand how bad the healthcare is there until you go back there. After you've been here for a little while, you can complain about the United States healthcare system all you want, and you have valid reasons to do so. And you can say, well, in Canada, it's free. Okay, so if you break your arm, it'll get taken care of 4 years later, but it's free. Generally here, you go to the emergency room, you get taken care of. My dad extended her life 15 years. She goes back to the island, starts on the same shit. Like, the eating habits is what's killing you. Like, the eating habits is what's killing you. I love coffee, but not a lot of sugar in the coffee. Today I had eggs in the morning, eggs and toast, like very generic. You know what Puerto Rican morning breakfast is? Fried Spam, rice from last night, 2 eggs. That's like my dad would have fried eggs with oil. He would thinly cut the Spam. Yesterday's rice. And that is breakfast. A 28 to 3,000 calorie oily breakfast. And he'd have the same thing for then he'd have like a sandwich at 9. Like, I love my dad, but the guy's diet was absolute trash. And the problem with that is if you point that out, you're a pussy. If you point out, Dad, you're eating really shitty stuff and I want you to be around for a long time. You fucking pussy. Okay, cool. No, but how's that diabetes? Oh, he had everything. Alex going for the hardcore weight reduction if he's putting bicycle brakes on his car. I watched my dad yelling, Lord, kill me the last few hours. Hated this suffering. Oh, my Lord. If somebody's in pain, look, Dr. Kevorkian was ahead of his time. But the problem is once he did it, that's what got him in trouble. But, some people just have done what they've done. and they're happy. They've either raised family or they've been productive members of society for 40 or 50 years. And then after a while, they're like, yeah, I think I'm done. They think I'm, you know, what's up? I have 96 Cobra thinking about selling for 13 GT. There you go. Absolutely. In a heartbeat. Your 96, 305 horsepower Cobra is probably still worth money because it has a snag on the fender. And if you sell that to some psycho, you might be able to get good money for it because it is a Cobra. Look, 96 and 98 Cobras are Cobras, whatever. I don't think they're great Cobras, but they're Cobras. And you can get yourself into an actual fast vehicle. Lost my dad almost 6 years ago today. I'm 26 now. To a similar situation with your grandfather. Taught me so much. Stuck around to make sure the kids were grown and provided the fam. Right. Once my dad saw me, my brother, my sister, we're grown. He was like, I'm good. Like, I don't care what happens now, you know, like, but I think what happened was kids gave him purpose, where my purpose is completely different, but kids gave him purpose. And once that purpose was gone, and this is what happens to couples all the time. Every single time a couple raises their kids, the moment the kids become slightly self-sufficient, meaning can make a sandwich, can get their own milk, can get their own water, can actually wipe their ass so there isn't massive stains on their tidy whities. That's when the couples start looking at each other and going, do I even like you anymore? And usually some men and people that their main purpose was raising their kids, once they're quote unquote raised, they lose purpose. I have a crazy focus on things I want to do. My purpose, in my opinion, is this, you know, just guiding people from bad decisions, bullshit, whether it's life advice, whether it's car advice, whether it's just knowing how to act around people. Because in this car community, a lot of guys just don't know how to act. A lot of guys are really loud. A lot of guys are huffing and puffing like they're gang, where they're just bitches. And if you just shut the fuck up, stay in your lane, have a good time, build a nice car, treat people well, generally treat people with respect, I think you'll be fine. But the moment you start talking all that shit and rah-rahing and all that stuff, man, get the fuck out of my face. So I'm here to do the anti douchebag car guy. Yeah, I get it. I was YOLO douchebag for a little while, but it was a satirical character. But a lot of people didn't understand that. And that's when I had to get away from that. I said, wait a minute. People actually think I am that guy. People actually think I wake up, flick my hat, and talk like this, when it is a satirical character making fun of people like that. And that's when I said, I gotta get rid of this character. This character is actually making people think that I'm a real person. What's crazy to think about is that everywhere in the universe, everyone is alive, depending on how far you're looking from. Oh, hey, that's a very good point, Chef Boyardee's nuts. There is a point somewhere where everyone that has ever lived is alive at one point in the universe, depending on perspective. Yes, that's actually very good. In Canada, the healthcare sucks. No, JD Swag. It's free. You know, they're a model of what, man, you think the United States system sucks? Go to Canada, go to Cuba, go to Puerto Rico, go to the UK. It is absolute crap. Damn, Alex, we had the same breakfast with egg whites and toast. We Puerto Ricans eat something called morcilla, made from pig's blood. Tripleta breakfast. Yesterday's rice is not today's rice. Actually, it is. It actually is today's rice. The problem with the U.S. healthcare system is cost the majority is due to the government overregulation. Exactly. Like, do you really think these pills should cost what they cost? Watch what they bill. Okay, when you go to a doctor's office, I'll give you an example. I recently went to a chiropractor. He didn't take health insurance. And he's like, why would I take health insurance? Because you could get a better deal cash. Because all of the paperwork and all the BS he has to put up with, he's like, I'd rather you just pay me cash. I'm like, how much is the cash price? And he told me, and I went, here's cash. Charge that shit. 5 visits later, I'm feeling really good. Obviously, with, you know, some follow-up stuff that I have to do, homework. But if you take care of yourself, if you don't eat like a glutton, again, my father taught me that. We talk about Father's Day and how they can influence you. My dad taught me the most important thing ever is not to eat yourself to death. Because he pretty much started to eat himself to death. Like, I'll give you an example. So at 38 years old, my father was diabetic, type 2, meaning eating, drinking. You can't have a pound and a half of rice, 2 pork chops, and 3 fried plantains and down it with a Heineken and go have a cigarette in the porch afterwards and think you're going to be okay if you do that every day for 20 years. It's crazy talk. So he goes to the doctor because he got dizzy. And my father was peeing a lot at night. He'd get up in the middle of the night, pee a lot. And he's like, I don't know what's going on. And then he'd get dizzy. He'd have a stick of gum just in case. He's like, I don't know what's going on. Goes to the doctor. Doctor goes, you got type 2 diabetes. My father goes, what does that mean? He goes, well, your pancreas can't regulate the insulin properly. You've eaten too much because it was just constantly trying to battle the amount of food you were shoving in your gut. You stressed things out. Now it's fucked. Now you need pills to regulate your insulin. My father goes, oh, okay. And the doctor goes, no, it's not okay. Stupid. You are eating yourself to death. And my dad wasn't fat. Just because you're diabetic doesn't mean you're fat. My father was big, not fat. If you look at the picture I posted up yesterday on Facebook and Instagram, Dad was not a fat guy. He was big. Okay? Let me see. Oh, Jesus. There we go. It's kind of sided. Can I lock the screen? There we go. Anti-rotation. There you go. This was Dad, big old head on him. But this was Dad, right? There you go. So he was a big dude, but he wasn't a big fat dude. He was 6'2", just a big son of a bitch. And I was 15, I think, in this photo. So Dad just wasn't really taking care of his body like he should have. And the doctor was like, well, you're gonna eat yourself to death. And he just took these pills. And I thought to myself, I never want to be that guy. I never want to have to regulate my blood sugar because of pills. And my dad just didn't understand that. He didn't understand, like, what's the big deal? Just give me a pill, doc. So if my dad taught me anything, is to stay fit and be fit forever. Like, literally forever. There is no, I can't go to the gym today. You have to go to the gym. You wake up, gym. Sorry, stay in that motherfucker for an hour. Oh, your back hurts too fucking bad. Work something else out. Because the more muscle density you have in your body, the better you're going to be off in your later years. I guarantee I'm going to be 50 and I'm going to be in better shape than most of you guys at 30. And that's not because I'm flexing. It's because I want to live a long time. Like, the only thing that's going to kill me, or the only thing that I have no control of, like a car accident or something, but if I have control of what goes in and out of my body and it allows me to live a longer time, then there is no better way of teaching your son how to live his life than by ruining his. He ruined his body. And then he was like, he would tell me, he actually got me a gym membership the day after he was diagnosed with diabetes. My father goes, I don't want you to be like me, man. I want you to play baseball. I want you to be fit, work out. I want you to muscle. I was like, okay, fuck. I went to the gym, killed it, got out of there. Then slowly but surely, I did get fat in my early 30s. I got sloppy. And then after I stopped playing baseball, and then I got back on the horse, and I was chubby for a little bit. I thought, even though at 240 didn't look bad on me, but I thought to myself, this is stupid. This is stupid. Get back in shape. That's it. Alex, why do you have a chiropractor on your Fairmont playlist? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think I clicked playlist to like watch later and added it on my playlist. I've met Canadians that come to USA on vacation to get a surgery done because they'll have to wait 20 years in Canada. A lot of these lessons I learned from men in life came from what wasn't said as much as what was said. I'm on the treadmill right now watching this exactly. I think we're brothers. That's my dad too. He was festively plumb. My dad's health is falling apart. Smokes at least a pack a day since he was 16. Has cancer, diabetes. Smoke killed my mom. Lung cancer, didn't smoke. And he has never processed that. There you go. Look. Sometimes dads teach us how to do the right thing by example, not necessarily them doing the right thing, but them doing the wrong thing. How many of you had a bad relationship growing up with your fathers and you wanted to be better than him and you switched it up and said, I don't want to be what my dad is, so I'm gonna flip, because that also happens. I've known some men that have had terrible dads that abused them and beat them up and stuff growing up. And then when they had kids, they flipped it and wanted to be the best dad possible because they didn't want their son to experience what they experienced. So that also is a way of inadvertent teaching a man how to be. Just watch your How to Build Boosted Gen 1 video. Just want to say thanks for your priceless knowledge and saving us all the headaches and failed combos. So take my peasant Canadian money. Thank you, David Santos. See, a lot of people watch those videos and they want to say that I'm not saying the right thing. And what about this? Look, take it as a very generic guide. If I was to sit here and give you every single possible combo that can run 10s, then 9s, then 8s, it would be an hour and a half long video that 2,000 of you will watch. So I'm good. My coworker got me into mountain biking on trails, and it may be saving my life. I love exercising. Now, happy Father's Day to you, Sly Dog, you. Okay. Did you get the view of that house yesterday? Today. They switched it to today, Coyote Kelly. I'm cautiously optimistic about this house because it checks all the right boxes. If I end up getting it, of course, I'll show you. But obviously, I won't be getting it for months and months and months. Even if I decide I love it, let's pursue it. It's months and months and months away from anything. But it's going to suck to leave the area that I'm in. But I would only leave the area that I'm in for a house like this. John Bailey says 100%. I feel my dad has poor health. I work out all the time. I'm 52 and can do a human flag. That's real tough. That's badass. That's a lot of core strength. My girlfriend said, I love how he changed his accent. From what to what? Oh, my Spanish accent. What's good, Alex? Been a while. Hope all is well. Now weed. Oh, yeah. I missed you. Where have you been? We are giving away 2 shirts today. Just giving you a heads up. We are still giving away 2 shirts today. So I have one trivia question. The second one I haven't really came up with yet. Oh, fuck. Paul Pontius says, what's up, Alex? Late to the show, dropping a like. My dad's failures motivated my success. My failures will motivate my son, says Evan Smith. Michael Locke says, at 40, recently diagnosed with type 2 meds. Eating like crap often hits home. Never did the gym, but damn, Michael Locke, it's time. It's time. My uncle, Renee, was fit, like muscular. And big, but muscular. Type 2 diabetes. So I thought, shit, this is genetic. When he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, he went straight vegan. Sorry, vegetarian, right? Because vegan is like super gay and no cheese. He loved cheese. So he wouldn't eat meat. He ate like a quarter of the portions he used to eat. He slimmed down a lot to the point where he didn't need medication anymore. He basically reversed the type 2 diabetes. My uncle Renee, fit, still kicking to this day, badass motherfucker. That guy, I look up to him because he got bad news, did something about it, changed the trajectory of what was going to happen. My dad just kept doing his thing and just taking pills. Yogan Late says, I waited 240 to 50, the peak of COVID, got my fitness life now, and I'm the best shape of my life. No one wants to put in the work to better themselves, sadly. It's not easy. The hardest thing about being fit is the diet. By far. But look, I haven't had McDonald's in forever. I had Wendy's nuggets recently, and I was like, oh, this is fried, nasty stuff. But it tastes great. But it's weird how your body reacts negatively to it now. Like, I can't just go out there and have a burger and just have a soda and, throw some fries down there and you're like, and feel good. You have a terrible stomach ache. Your body's telling you this is bad. So, it sucks to eat really boring stuff. I'm that guy that goes to like a picnic or a cookout or a barbecue. And I'm the guy picking the, here's the breast and here's a little bit of rice, and I can't have that macaroni salad because it's a mayonnaise salad at this point. So I literally eat tiny little thing, a little bit of water, and I'm just like, oh, this sucks, but that's how you have to do it. I don't like our Canadian healthcare due to how much I pay in taxes for people who abuse the system. I never go to the hospital, and yet I pay high taxes for the people from the street to get prescription. Exactly. Thank you, Hapolteron, for the house fund. Massachusetts has that kind of healthcare. Massachusetts was Obamacare before it hit the United States, and now you see how it's affecting the whole country. I saw what was happening. People were getting free health care, subsidized, free. And who was the free paying? Me. I was generally pretty healthy as a millwright. I was always in shape. I was always good. I ate decent. I never got sick, knock on wood, and I never had issues. So all that money I paid into the healthcare system, I never used. I literally never used. Meanwhile, there's some fucking guy out there high, eating like shit, not, working part-time, getting benefits and pills and weed nonstop. Texas passed the bill ending mandatory vehicle inspections. Thank God. Thank God. Really? Is that true? So you're saying Harris County right now has no emissions testing? Are you serious? We'll see how that goes. Where's the house? I'm not going to tell you where the house is. Well, you want the address too? Rest in peace, Dad. Thanks for getting me into cars. Leaves no money for drugs and teaching me by example not to stick in crazy. Okay, live and prosper. Exactly. I got some of the nastiest smacking from my dad, but got me where I am today. He is in the armed forces and he owes me to me to keep myself fit, even though I slack a little bit. My dad started doing drugs before I was born, and my mom saw this and left. She never hid the reason why she left, and because of that, I will not touch drugs because she told me what it did to him. That's good. That's a good teaching moment, and congrats, because some women don't leave. Some women just stay and just try to fix the man. Men are stubborn as shit. About the last thing you want to do is try to fix the dude. If you get with a guy and you want to change his behavior, good luck with that shit. Good luck with that shit. You can reverse type 2 diabetes. What did it say here? You can reverse type 2 diabetes. Part of reversing type 2 is with the food you eat. Look at the food from insulin resistance standpoint. Exactly. I went to a keto diet and went from 260 to 238, but once I introduced carbs again, I slowly gained it back in 3 months. Mindful dieting is depressing. It's the worst. If you like Snicker bars, Doritos, and a Coca-Cola, you're done. I now look at the back of every label, and it sucks. It sucks to look at the back of every label. But my dad didn't. Neither did my uncles. And they got way out of shape. So if you were to see me at 45 as compared to them at 45, you would understand why the diet, because, well, I do exercise way more than they did. But I think that's genetics too. I have pretty decent genetics because my body reacts really well once I give it proper food and exercise. But me at 45 versus, like, I see a lot of 45-year-old guys at the gym, they look wasted. I'm like, whoa, like, you ain't fixing that. I mean, maybe you'll get it to something decent, but man, some of these guys just abused. And that's how resilient the human body is. That the fact that you can drink, smoke, do drugs, just do the nastiest stuff and still be alive and not crazy, like tarred up lungs and diabetes and liver issues. It blows my mind. Just safety, still doing the sniffer, then that's stupid. They passed the bill, but who knows if the governor cripple will sign it. Oh, stop it, GT Verd. He's a good governor. Just a general area, got it. A year ago, I weighed 360. Today, 212. Wow, I do more exercise weekly than I ever did in my early teens. Damn, 150 plus pounds or 148 pounds. Wow, good for you. Damn, that's a whole person you lost. No, Texas is not requiring safety inspection, but still have to do emissions in admissions counties. Gay, so it's useless. So they don't care if you have bumpers. As long as that vehicle that doesn't have bumpers passes smog, that is so stupid. It's amazing how much sugar is in stuff nowadays. One of the main choices for health, it sucks, but it's true. Then Ralph. 26 GT, twin turbo, built motor, ported heads. The setup came with a sniper intake. Dump it now. Should I switch to a Cobra Jet? No. Switch, if it has a stock throttle body, switch to an 18 manifold. Stock to auto body, 18 manifold, lock out the IMRC. Stop it with the Cobra Jet boosted bullshit. Stop it. Cobra Jet, in my opinion, is for NA applications max effort. The moment you introduce boost into that intake, I'm not a fan. Canada tells you to press the off button on yourself when you're a depressed vet. That's not good. I do miss cigarettes, but I'm glad I stopped. Good morning, says Jacob De Leon. Good morning, says Happy Poppy Day. Went from 174 to 196, but of solid muscle from taking the gym serious and eating right. I would look wasted at 190. I mean, I still think I should lose, another 15. 205 would be nice, but man, that's tough. 205, I would look like I'm dying. My face, or at least in comparison to what I look like now, my head size would shrink. So, yeah, I'd love to do it, but that takes like a completely aggressive, really aggressive diet plan to get from 220 to 205. Alex, what's the status of GT500? Motor has arrived. The motor is at power by the hour. I will slowly begin to put things together. I'm doing some R&D on the ZR1 right now. Once I finish that, I'll get on the GT500. I am just having so many issues with this Corvette, and I think it has to do with the injectors at this point. At this point, I think the injectors are the issue. The FIC 1440Hs on the Corvette, maybe the Corvette doesn't like the data. I don't know. But ever since I installed them, I had the stock injectors, no issue. The moment I installed FIC 1440s with a ported snout, more boost, not so much boost that it was an issue, like 12, this thing is driven like shit in transition from the get-go. And I'm like, I don't want to switch to E85 just to fix that. I'd rather fix the driving issues on a petroleum-based fuel. So I'm going to get some ID 1300Xs. God damn it, they're $1,800 retail, so I'll see if I can get them at a decent price. I should have, I had 1700Xs here, but I gave them to you guys. So I'm going to buy some 1300Xs because I do want to run pump gas and E85 as an option. I don't know if I'll do the flex thing on the ZR1 because I'm not a big flex fan. You know, like we were talking the other day about someone that bought E60 at a fuel station. He said, well, the test at my station is E60. Is that enough? I go, no. Now, hear me out. So if you have 93 octane, let's say you're a flex fuel guy with Chevy stuff, and you have 93 octane in the tank, and you throw in E85, tested and verified E85, and it mixes to about E60, that fuel mixture is totally different than if you went and got E60 from the pump. Why is that? Because the E60 from the pump is 60% ethanol, but what's the 40%? Hot dog water. Like lips and assholes and horse hooves ground up to be the 40%. Again, E60 from an ethanol pump in your tank is not the same as 93 octane in the tank, throwing E85 in it, and letting it mix to E60. So a lot of people go, well, I don't know, my Chevy friend got E60 and he's fine. I go, well, if he had 93 octane and then mixed E85 and it made an E60 blend, that's a more potent mix than E60 from the pump. To this day, people don't understand what that means.
To this day.
I had a customer tell me the following sentence. My E85 is testing at E70. Listen, he said my E85 is testing at E70. That's like saying my 93 octane is only about 87 octane. I got 93 from the pump, but it's 87. Wait, no. E85 is E85. E70 is E70. E60 is E60. E10 is E10. My E85 tested at E70. The proper way to say that is the ethanol at the pump is only testing at E70. Hey, I got E85, but it's only 60%. Is that good? Your E85 is at 60%. What the hell does that even mean? So they don't understand. Sorry, they don't understand. And most of them, sorry, are puro pinche 956 a la verga cuz ass motherfuckers.
Puro pinche 956 a la verga.
Not the area code, but the people. Educate yourselves. E85 is 85% ethanol. If it's testing at 70%, you can't say my E85 is E70. You say my E70 is E70. Bro. Like every day. Every day. And that shit gets old real fast. Do you plan on putting some AC stuff back in the GT500? Eventually, but not right now, dude. I'd have to take the whole dash apart. Guys, I don't have the room to work on that GT500. Just because I have 2 garages, I cannot work in comfort. I cannot open the door fully. You understand? So I'm not going to go in there and rip the dash off this thing to install all that stuff back in. All that stuff was gutted out of the car. And if I had AC back in it, of course I'd drive it more. But it won't have AC for a while. Hell, I'd rather just sell it as a race car. Need to change my diet and lose 40 pounds. Currently 260, need to be closer to 220, getting back into riding bicycles and hitting the weights. Yeah, but the diet's going to be the biggest thing. I always heard stories before I was born that my dad was a huge drinking guy and like the dude with the lampshade on his head guy. But until recently, I've never seen him drunk and he was not crazy. Oh, okay. What about E40? Does this couch touch the wall? My Dr. Pepper identifies his diet. Right. My friend this, my friend that. Did you cover? Yes, I covered that. I have a Gen 1 Coyote that can do I have a Gen 1 Coyote, can run MU52 injectors or just stick with LU47s. Why do you want to run? You can run stock injectors with a Gen 1 Coyote. Like, you need to be very specific about your questions. You understand? That's such a jet. You can run ID 1000s. You can run ID 1300s. You can run whatever. Oh, thank you very much. Get you a girl that gets you iced coffee in the morning. Thank you. Appreciate it. Get you a girl that gets you iced coffee in the morning. No sugar. Ugh. No sugar, but it has blueberry flavor. So cancer, but not diabetes. Oh, you got to get used to it. It's tart as hell, but you got to get used to it. Right. Let's give away shirts. So YDB shirts. We're going to do YDB shirts. 2 of them, large or extra large, is all I got. Yeah, you're going to win. Oh, no, that doesn't work. Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah. Okay. In the movie Twins, what color was the Mustang? Go. In the movie Twins, what color was the Mustang? Yeah. In the movie Twins, what's the color of the Mustang? Oh my God, how dare you not know this? Thank you, G, red. G, uppercase, lowercase, G, red GT. So G, you get a shirt. Congratulations. Just tell me what large or extra large. So G. Let me know if you get a large or extra large shirt. YDBT for life at gmail.com. YDBT for life at gmail.com. And we can go ahead and get you a shirt, large or extra large. I only have about 20 of them left. I've given away about 40 or 30, or I've given away a shitload. So I'm really happy. So uppercase G, lowercase g, answered what color was the Mustang in the movie Twins, where Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito were actually twins, but Arnold Schwarzenegger got all the good genetics and Danny DeVito was like the mishmash of bullshit that ended up just not making it. And he ended up, that was a good movie. I mean, I always thought one of those, I always thought that movie was, as a kid, was like awesome. And then you see it as an adult and you're like, this is the worst movie I've ever, like, have you ever seen movies that just don't hold up? And then you see them as an adult and you're like, oh my God, this is the biggest piece of shit ever. Like, I still think Predator holds up. The original Predator. Twins is awful as a second movie. But then there are movies that are better when you're an adult, like Weekend at Bernie's. Like the Wraith gets better with time, in my opinion. Better Off Dead gets better. You know what you're going to do? And by the way, speaking of Better Off Dead, what color was the Camaro? That's right, the Camaro in Better Off Dead. What color was it for your chance at a shirt? That's right. Yeah. Oh, come on. What color was the Camaro in Better Off Dead? Come on, what color was the Camaro? Yeah. No, it wasn't silver. How dare you? Hey, Nat Jew, you already won. Nat Jew already won. Nat Jew, if you haven't won, you win, but XTS Mar was the second one. So Nat Jew, I think you've won already. I think you've won. So if you already won, let me know. If you did, XTS Mar is the next guy that wins. So be honest about it. I want to make sure I get... You know, you're going to end up with like 7 YDBT shirts, and that's kind of weird. But a lot of you knew the answer. 313, Jake, Angel, Donovan, Half Bolted On, Junior Areola. Hey, did you ever get made fun of your name? The Junior Areola. It's like the small nipple. But Nat Jew, if you already won something, let me know because I'll give XTS Mar the shirt. Be honest. Where's he at? Not Jew. Doesn't say. Not Jew. Give it to him. Give it to someone else. All right. XTS Mar. You win because Nat Jew, I think he already won the previously. So you win a shirt, large or extra large. Let me know at ydbt4life@gmail.com. That's right. ydbt4life@gmail.com. ydbt4life@gmail.com. Let me know what size shirt you want. So GG and XTS Mar win the shirts this week. GG knew the color of the Mustang in the movie Twins. And XTS Mar knew the color of the Camaro in Better Off Dead. Oh, he's won before. Thank you. Thanks for being honest. I appreciate that because, you know, I want to make sure I give a lot of these people opportunities to win shirts. In Tuesdays, because it's a quote-unquote big prize on Tuesdays, I'm going to give away pulleys this Tuesday, 105 and 110 millimeter pulleys. I'll probably give them both away just to get them out of here. And then whatever else I have to give away. I'm also potentially, guys, giving away the rear seat delete. Now, when I sold the white Mustang, I did not sell it with the rear seat delete that has my face on it with LEDs on it. Now, I don't have an S550, so it's just sitting in the garage collecting dust. It is huge. This thing is a very big thing. So if you guys want the rear seat delete with my face on it, which is hilarious. I thought Kyle got me that way back in the day, and I appreciate that, but I think it'd be a pretty decent prize to give away to somebody if they're interested. Should I give away the S550 rear seat delete for S550 that has my face on it? Junior Ariel says yes all the time. The small nipple. Gotta love it. Bryson Witt says YDBT for life. Thank you, Bryson Witt. He is a mod and he put up the email. So ydbt4life@gmail.com. GG, just verify who you are. XTS Mar, verify who you are. And I'll get you those shirts sent out by Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll get them out, get them to you. USPS, regular mail, you'll get them. And hopefully I'm done giving stuff away. And then I'm already working on different shirts. So in about a week or two, I'll show you some shirt options that I think are out there that I want to try to. I'm going to try to tackle the merchandise game, and I'm going to try to do it direct because I got to make money, right? And I got to get you guys stuff. And there's shirt ideas that we have and we have come up with on the show that I think would be cool to have, available, but I want to have control of the merchandise, meaning I want to have the stock. I want to ship them. I've gotten the shipping down to a science now. I want to be able to provide shirts for people. I've gotten a couple examples on other websites and I've gotten samples sent to me and I'm like, okay, this is a good idea, but I got to get together with a place that has a decent artist person to make some stuff. I worked with Vinyl Freaks and Company and that's great, but I need to make the most amount of money possible on these shirts. Let's be honest. The reason anyone would get into merchandising was for shirts, for money. Sorry, for shirts. Well, it's to make money, not just to like provide you stuff. It's to make big money. Alex, any mechanic style shirts or are those too pricey? Guys, a t-shirt, listen to this. A t-shirt like this, a tri-blend t-shirt that has a little logo here and something in the back is $30 to you if I do it through a third party. If I buy in bulk, print some stuff up in bulk, I can probably get the price under 27 and still make more than $3 a shirt. Yes, trust me, I get it, brother. Nat Jew, that's the hardest thing to get. Like, this is perfect. Like, this shirt is perfect. And I'm going to use whoever Power by the Hour uses, which I think it's Clutch down in Boynton. And I'm going to try to get whatever shirts, because I have 4 or 5 year old Power by the Hour shirts that are perfect. They just feel wonderful. And they're all my gym shirts. Let us know. I'm definitely down to buy a couple of shirts. That's right. Would you recommend Steeda closed air stocking? No. Nope. No. I am now saying no. I used to protect a lot of companies because they're good people. I'm not saying they're bad people. But I am going to guide you so that you have the best driving vehicle possible and not necessarily prop up products. Number one, don't pay me to shout out their products. PMAS, believe it or not, they don't pay me to shout out the products. They pay me to put the logo on the sponsor tab. But PMAS, okay? Any and naturally aspirated combination, PMAS fender well intake. Why fender well? Well, you're now grabbing air from not under the engine bay. So you have a basically built-in box, which is your fender well. And it draws air in through there, and the air is not turbulent. So the car tends to drive pretty damn well, and the data is great. I'm not a fan of anything that has a turbulent map signal. And I've had so many people try to piggyback on my comments and say, see, Alex recommends our cold air intake. Let's be honest. Most cold air intakes don't do fuck all. But if you're gonna buy a cold air intake, get a PMAS fender well. Be done with it. Midibag Madman says, Alex, is your merch line gonna have women's underwear? Ha. FedEx business account is easy and a big discount. Alex, what do you think about the new 6.8 liter Mustang? Let's get Theo Alex in a Lambo with the merch. I don't want a Lambo. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The biggest douchebag thing I could do is flex money. I know the ZR1 is a bit of a flex. That's a flex on like my money. Like that's all. Everything I have, like the money I make from this channel, you guys maybe don't see it, but I flip it and it goes back into the channel. Like every single time I get paid through my AdSense, it goes right back into the channel, whether it be cars and stuff like that, or buying parts, or promoting parts, or testing parts to get you content on the channel. I'm not just like buying land somewhere or buying a Lambo. I want to get you guys, I don't know, information on platforms that you might recognize and like. The biggest douchebag thing I could do is buy a Lambo. Like if I buy an R8 twin turbo, that's not going to show anybody anything. It's going to show you how much money I got. But if I buy myself a Fox body, do this and that, a Grand National or something cool, or just projects for the channel, then I think that's worth it. Yeah, PMAS all day. I don't understand why anyone would ever buy any other. And I know that JLT through SNB is now heavily promoting their junk. Guys, look, my Facebook feed is full of SNB garbage. Nothing made from JLT has ever been good. So don't ask me about JLT. Don't ask me about Steeda. Don't ask me about anything. There's only one cold air that I can show this. I can shove the same tune in 5 different cars, and all 5 different cars trim within 3% in its PMAS. Some child support for me, Daddy, says Juice did it. Alex sells his dirty used calf right socks 200%. Sells his dirty used calf height socks $200+. Right, exactly. PMAS, they have the data to back up their product. Big and tall people buy shirts. You know what? Sorry. Because if I have to buy 300 big and tall shirts to get them for under, I don't know, $15 each, I'm not doing that because I'm going to sell 2 of them. The vast majority of people are medium through XXL. And that's what I'm going to buy. Medium through XXL men's shirts. I have if you saw my breakdown as to the people that watch my channel, fans of the channel, it's like 1% women. 99% men, the ages of 22 to 48. And I guarantee they're from medium to XXL. Sorry, I'm not going to buy big and tall XXL bed sheets so that you can wear at the gym. Fuck that. Twin turbo Lambo with a PMAS cold air. I remember 2018 where every YouTuber bought a Huracan just for them to sell it within a couple of months. Well, that's going to happen with the Dark Horse. It's gonna happen with the Dark Horse. Like you see people posting stuff about the Dark Horse and in the wind tunnel. Who the hell gives a shit? What does a fox body look like in a wind tunnel? Meanwhile, that's the most popular drag racing platform on the planet. That or G bodies. Have you seen a G body in a wind tunnel? Oh, look at the data. Who the hell buys cars because of wind tunnel data? Nobody. Oh, look at the wind tunnel data. Oh, could you imagine you go to the car show and some dumb son of a bitch has a picture of the wind data graph on a Dark Horse and goes, the wind around this thing is pretty sick. No. They have a Fox body with either an LS or a small block Ford and then just choo-choo boy sticking out the hood and then this thing runs 4s in the 8th, bitch. But the wind tunnel data. Not everyone drag races, Alex. Right, other guys suck dick. Sorry. Stop by to leave a like and wish a happy Father's Day to those with a weak pull-out game. Bondo Bird. You shouldn't be talking about weak anything game. We have heard you build this car for about, 7 years. And every single time you come out, it's doing shit like this. Every single time. Stop it. The Bondo Bird intro. 3XL elote eaters are being left out. Right. Like you guys want me to build for Gravity. Remember Gravity from Valley Racing? You guys want me to build Gravity size shirts, which would be like a throw rug or like a little blanket for people? Get out. I'm 6'5", 240. Don't need an XLT or double XL. Right. Is it going to fly? Wind tunnel. Right. Oh, look it. It cools the brakes. Oh, look, it cools the brakes, the ducting in the air. It cools the brakes and comes out the wheels. Meanwhile, you buy a Fox body to go fast. Sadly, the S550 is probably worse in the wind tunnel than a Fox. Regardless of the price, those who are loyal will buy them. Unfortunately, gotta haul back the black gold. Get after it, nitrogen bias supplies. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Exactly. I don't know. Nadju's like a low-key hater. I don't know. He retracts a lot of messages. I got to see what's going on with homeboy. I don't. It's real tough to like see every single message, but I try. Right. Like every single time Bondo Bird says something about pull-out game, I'm like, oh no, I deleted the China clip. Oh, fuck. I can't believe I deleted the China clip. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I'm so stupid. I went on a deleting spree. Actually, should I have like different Chinese music? Something that's like super like I need like, is there Chinese drill music? Chinese drill music. Oh, is it Chinese drill music? Oh my God. Get out of here. Ching, ping, ting. Stop it. I might get copyrighted or shot. Motherfuckers at Whipple listening to this shit right now. Wait. This is what the CNC roll sounds like at Whipple. Jesus. Hey, turn it up. That's my favorite. Oh my God. I've got 3, 4, 5 shirts. If anyone needs a car, motorcycle, barely fitting into XL. Now, who got the Saki? Alex, can I get the Sprite themed t-shirt? Alex, I need a car cover. 3XL would be fine. If you can, please get previous Chinese music back on. I will. It's just a matter of time. Oh man. I knew you guys were going to start talking on that racist shit, so that's why I didn't want to really bring it up. Fuck. Unreal. Whipple Factory got it pumping. Could you imagine at break time, Whipple Factory just I don't know. We had some supply chain issues right around COVID. Totally nothing to do with China at all. Got it. Yeah. Just yeah. Oh shit! It smells so good. Exactly. Ford More Performance says Techno rap just kill me. Bonnebird can't even pull. Fuck God. I gotta love it. Doesn't the Whipple tune change your door chime? Shit. Sound effect. I can't spell sound effect. Chinese bell ring. Oh, come on, it's weak. Chinese gong? That's the one I want. Let me see. Oh, no, where's the rest of it? Chinese gong meme sound effect. Is it this one? That's it. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Thank you very much. We'll end it there. We'll probably get some good clips out of the show. Again, guys, happy Father's Day for the men out there that are actually teaching their boys how to what is it called? Talk softly but carry a big stick. Or walk softly and carry a big stick. Guys that are masculine, males, identify as males, men with balls. Don't give into this woke bullshit. Hunting, fishing, racing. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the people that actually make the world go round. Don't let anyone tell you that your masculinity is toxic. Fuck them. Man spread. When you sit down, man spread wherever the fuck you want. Shout out to you guys that make the world go round. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to look at a house. That's right. Going to look at a house in about an hour. Check it out. I will post up some clips, and I'll try to get on the Gen 2 6R80 boosted video today. It's going to be graphic heavy. So it's going to take a couple hours to kind of hammer down. Then I'm going to do some testing on the Corvette if the weather clears up at night, but we'll see. Got to dial in some stuff on the new cold air. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Happy Father's Day. Shout out to the fathers out there. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. See you guys later. Bye.